What do you make, Troy Aikman, of Tom Brady retiring and then 6 days later on his podcast saying never say never?
Oh, I think I would have answered it the same way. I don't make anything of it. I mean, I doubt that Tom's going to come back. But we have seen him miss an entire offseason before when he was in New England, and then they went on and I think they won the Super Bowl that year. Mm-hmm. So it's not outside the realm for him to maybe come back, but I don't think that's his intentions. But I understand that. What
do you mean you would have said the same thing?
Well, I just think that if somebody's asked, hey, do you think you'll ever come back? I do believe in the theory that, yeah, I think there's always a chance you might do something, so why totally close the door on it, even though in all likelihood you're done. I would be surprised if Tom came back and played, but I think for him to answer it that way, I don't think should have sounded the alarms maybe the way that it did. I reached out to him. I've really enjoyed him being with the Bucs because with them being in the NFC, I got a chance to see him a lot, got a chance to talk to him a lot, and got to know him a lot better than I did. And selfishly, I hate that he retired. And I probably speak for a lot of football fans out there because he's playing so great. But it is such a commitment. I mean, forget what he's missed out on with the family, because you do miss out on quite a bit. But putting your body through that at 44 years old, I don't think people understand what he had to do during the week in order to get ready to play the next game. It's not easy. It was hard for me, and I was 34. Now, it was a different game. Guys got hit a little bit differently, but still, at 44, that's hard. I mean, really hard. But I was hoping selfishly he'd play another year. I knew 45 is what he mentioned that he wanted to play to. And the great year that he had this year, I just figured Tom's a guy who, when he sets goals, he achieves them. I really thought he would come back and play another year. But we all knew it was going to end at some point. But, man, you can't even put in perspective what his career has been. There needs to be something named after him. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it looks like, but there needs to be something significant within the NFL that reflects on what he contributed to our game, because I really don't think, and I really don't think anyone represented our game better or represented themselves better than Tom Brady. And I've told him that, and I've said it to a lot of people, and I really believe that.
Well, I mean, guy won 3 out of his first 4. Right, and that's where we're already saying if Burrow wins here, then he's on pace, and we're going to be looking at every kid who comes out. Can he catch Tom?
This whole pace, that thing about pace is a little crazy. In week 2, they'll say this person's on pace to have 4,000 yards receiving. Pace is a little bit overrated, but yeah, I think that when people start trying to put into perspective somebody at a young age achieving what. I don't think, I know records are made to be broken and all that, and we don't think there was going to be another Michael Jordan, and maybe there still hasn't been,
right.
And all that. I can't imagine anyone ever doing what Tom Brady has done.
Because as much as what I just mentioned about on pace, and we heard it last year with Mahomes,
right.
And if Mahomes beats Brady, then he's one step closer. You still have to potentially, most likely, win 4 after turning 37. And the most remarkable, like you say, how do you put it in perspective? The one way to put it close enough in perspective about Brady is that you and I and all of us are shocked and disappointed a 44-year-old retired.
Yeah.
Because we're like, oh my gosh. I mean, the last touchdown pass he threw was over Jalen Ramsey in an NFC divisional game with a game on the line, and he needed to throw it. And yes, that's a Hall of Famer he's throwing to in Evans, but it was perfect. And he led the league in everything. He's amazing.
In everything.
Unreal.
And he, what he proved in Tampa is, yes, he had great coaching, and I'm a huge Bill Belichick fan, and how can you not be, and the greatest coach ever. And, he had a great support group around him in New England to flourish. But when he goes to Tampa and did what he did, it really put an exclamation mark on just exactly, if anyone doubted his contributions or could have another quarterback done what he did in New England, the answer is no. I mean, he elevates players around him. He's competitive beyond anything you can imagine. There's not a guy, this is the remarkable thing, especially as he's gotten older. I don't think there's a guy who's ever shared a locker room with him that doesn't feel like they have a personal relationship with him. And I can tell you, that's hard. It's hard to do. But Tom makes it a priority for him, and he's a great guy. He's a great father. He's a great quarterback. He just exudes excellence, and I'm really proud of him.
Yeah, one way to tell if somebody played with him is they refer to him as Tommy. You know,
Yeah.
like most of us refer to him as Tom.
Well, his dad
played
does because his dad, he's Tom Brady. He's the Tom Brady. Right?
His dad's so damn proud. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.